Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, I'm missing something, so naturally that means this has to be a review video. Today I'm going to be testing out the basket case liner. It is a collaboration with Kat Von D Beauty and Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day. It is, well, we'll get into that later, but if this is something you're into, make sure to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. I do upload twice a week, so if you want to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting, hit that little red button, and let's get right into it. Now, this liner, which just dropped the other day from Kat Von D Beauty, retails for $19. You can get it at Kat Von D's website or at the Sephora website. This was marketed as an anti-precision liner. Now, normally liners are very precise, and it's a very pointed tip because you want to be detailed. This is designed for those blown out editorial smoky eyes, really grungy looks, things that you want to like blend out and play with. So let's open it up. I have not swatched it. I have not done anything to it at all, so I am just as excited to play with this. The packaging is pretty standard for Kat Von D. It is black. Compared to her liner, the ink tattoo liner, this is Trooper. It is much thicker, and it has gold writing instead of silver, which I think is kind of cool. Now, if you have the tattoo liner, it is a very precise felt tip, and from it you get a very precise line. Now, it is very inky and very black, which is why I love this liner. Basket case liner, it's almost this very thick crayon pencil tip, and comparatively, when you swatch it, it's so, oh, that's really creamy. So it's really thick and just as inky and just as black, and it goes on so creamy. But, let's see, oh, and it smudges nicely too. So I'm excited to get this on the eyes. I'm gonna be using this today to do a very editorial, like smoky eye. So all you need for what I'm gonna be doing today is this, if it works out, and your favorite black shadow, just so I don't have to hold up the palette a million times. I am going to be using Abyss, which is the black shade from the Kat Von D palette, from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So when you see me tapping into black shadow, this is the one I'm using. Now, I did already prime the lids, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of that liner, and I'm just gonna start layering some color as a base on the lid. Now, I'm gonna wanna catty eye shape for this. So you're gonna wanna go over the lid from inner corner to outer corner and kind of draw it where you want it, and then I'll place the black shadow over that in a little bit. And once you lay down that base, you're gonna wanna take, I'm gonna use a fluffy brush, and you're gonna wanna take a little bit of that black shadow, and you're just going to want to gently set down this cream black, and as you get to the top, you're going to want to start blending that line up. Now with black, you do want to move very slowly because you'll see it is smoking out very nicely and you're getting this pretty gray, but I do want it to be more intense, but you want to layer the black. You want to go on very slowly and a little bit at a time, just gently dragging that color higher and higher until you get the desired smokiness you want. And once you start to get that shape of the black that you want, then you're just going to want to, on a clean blending brush, go into a neutral warm brown. Now I'm going to be taking the shade Pukey from the middle of that Jaclyn palette. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and just throw that into the crease. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna help to diffuse some of that black and make it a little bit more of a gradual gradient. That way, once you get to the top part of the eye, it's gonna look a little bit more seamless. And then I'm just gonna take turns going in with a little bit more of that brown shade and then a little bit more black, just to build it up. Then taking a flat top brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of that black, and I'm just gonna take that on the winged area, and I'm just going to feather out that black shadow just to diffuse the harshness of that wing in both directions. Then taking a little bit of brightening powder, I'm using the lightest shade in the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette on the Shade and Light brush. I'm just going to clean up a little bit of that fallout And I'm gonna use that to just define the edge of that wing a little bit, just because it's a little bit further out than I wanted it to go. And rather than going in with a concealer, I kind of want to keep that editorial grungy vibe going. So I'm just going to use that brightening powder just to clean it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other eye, and I'll be right back to show you how I tie it all together. Okay, so they're a little uneven, but that'll come together in the end. I'm now going to try it on the waterline, and all I'm going to do with that is put a little bit directly into the waterline and enough to smudge it out underneath. As expected, it is super pigmented and super creamy for the waterline. Now, even if I don't do an editorial look or something like this every day, this is definitely a liner that I think I will use often in the waterline. Now, all I did was use a flat brush just to connect the waterline to where that wing is. And this is where I'm going to really redefine the shape because it's a little bit off from where I want it to be. Now, on a small pencil brush, I'm going to take a little more of that black shadow. And I'm just going to take that on the waterline and into the lower lash line. Then on a larger pencil brush, I'm going to take that brown, again, that's Pukey from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just going to run that over the entire lower lash line. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer and clean up that wing, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that that's cleaned up a little bit more, on a fluffy brush, I'm going to take that light shade from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette again, and I'm just going to hit the brow bone and take that a little bit into the crease, just to define it a little bit more and kind of clean up by that brow bone. Now you can totally stop here if this is the extent of what you want to do. However, it's a little bit grungy for me and it's a little bit dark for me, so obviously I'm going to want to add a little bit of glitter just to make it a little bit more Brett, because a defined black grungy smoky eye is gorgeous, but it's really not me. So I'm going to throw on some mascara and I'll be right back to do glitter. Now for glitter today, I'm going to be trying out the COverFX glitter drops. This is in the shade Mirage, and I'm just going to take that on the back of my hand. It is a super beautiful creamy, like white iridescent glitter. And I'm going to take that on a flat, this is the NARS number 7 concealer brush. And I'm just going to gently pack that onto the center of the lid. Okay, so it's giving a really pretty wet effect, but not quite the glittery effect I was going for. So I am going to throw another glitter on top. I'm going to tap into my Jolie Beauty Bomb.com palette, and I'm going to take, where is it? I lied. I'm going to go in with my Stila Magnificent Metals in the shade Diamond Dust, and I'm just going to press that silver over the whole lid. And then to finish everything off, I'm going to go into the Sleek Solstice palette and take the same highlighter I have on the face, which is this lavender shade. And I'm going to take that and just hit up the inner corners. And that's the finished look. So I will say 100% this is a product that not only do I like, but I will repurchase, I will use again. I do want to play around with it more and see what else I could do with it other than editorial, because you know me, I do bright and sparkly. I don't always do like jet black. So I did put a little bit too much on this eye, which is why it's a little bit muddier than the other side. But that's something that kind of happens when you're learning about a new product, is you realize how much you need or how much you don't. So I definitely didn't need as much as I used, but that's kind of the fun of first impressions. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comment section if you're getting this and what you think, because honestly, an anti-precision liner is something that, you know, I've seen like a thick, chunky liner, but this one was just marketed in such a way that it's so like rock and roll, and I love it. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.